Fabulous. Our patrons have more options for our productions.
Wonderful.
And now the early bird tickets, that's our advanced tickets, are available. So you can get us at *365 *535 hash on your phone to book your advanced copy.
Wonderful. That's great.
The year is 2001. It is about 7:30 on a Monday morning. I walk into the reception area of Joy FM, and a young man from the sales department of the station meets me with great excitement. "Uncle Bo," he says, "we have a sponsor for Rover Report now." I was immediately caught in his excitement. I had been presenting Rover Report, now called Food for Thought, on the Super Morning Show at the time for over 4 years without any sponsor. And so the news that we had a sponsor was really good news. "Which company is it?" I asked in my excitement. "Unique Trust," said the young man. My excitement was dampened somewhat because I was expecting it would be one of the big and popular brands in Ghana. But Unique what? I'd never heard of the company, but I thought if it is going to sponsor Rover Report, then it must be a good company. The young man said, "The man who runs the company is Captain Amoabeng. He wants to meet you one of these days." I was also eager to meet him. That is why on a sunny morning in 2001, I drove to Kantamanto in the central business district of Accra, found my way to a designated story building, climbed a narrow stairway, and asked for Captain Amoabeng. That was my first meeting with the energetic retired army captain and the beginning of a friendship that has spanned more than 20 years. A few years after that meeting at Kantamanto, Unique Trust moved to Osu, and I visited Captain there often. I became a frequent visitor and a friend to Captain's partner, Mr. Joseph Nsonamwa, as well. Could you ask a motivational speaker? I was always on the lookout for success stories to share with my audiences and listeners. Unfortunately, it seemed there were not that many Ghanaian success stories to tell. I, however, later discovered that there was no shortage of successful stories in Ghana, but Ghanaians did not want the attention that came with being successful. But Captain Amoabeng was different. He was not afraid to own his success. He was willing to share his story with anyone who was interested. I was particularly interested in how the UT partnership had worked so successfully in Ghana. I was aware that partnership did not work in Ghana. I love to say that Ghana would always produce world champions in boxing, but it would be a long time before we win the FIFA World Cup. This is because in boxing, it is an individual fighting for glory. He doesn't share that glory with anyone. In soccer, it is teamwork, which in essence is partnership. And Ghanaians don't do partnerships well. Yet, that notwithstanding, here was UT, a Ghanaian partnership that obviously at the time was working very well. I was intrigued. I wondered how the two men had managed to make it work so well. For years, I hounded them for answers, and they were both eager to share. And I was proud to shout their formula from the rooftop. Today, the partnership is over. But make no mistake about it, it worked for years. So what happened? Why did the UT story end the way it did? Well, thankfully, I don't have to guess the answers. Captain Amoabeng is providing answers in a series of books he's writing and publishing on the UT story. And yesterday, on his 71st birthday, Captain Amoabeng launched the second in what is planned to be a 3-book series. These books are being published after the collapse of Captain Amoabeng's bank, UT Bank, which was the first Ghanaian-owned bank to win the Bank of the Year award in Ghana. I have spoken with Captain and heard him on various media platforms, and it is clear that he has no bitterness over the collapse of his bank. He believes it was a mistake for government to have killed the bank but he bears no animosity towards anyone. And in this, Captain shows that he's a very different kind of man and a very different kind of Ghanaian. I'm not sure that in his shoes, I will be that generous. In this, and again in many other ways, Captain breaks the mold of what is typical of the Ghanaian. In the UT Bank series, the brave captain is solving one of the problems in Ghana, and that is the culture of silence. Ghanaians don't tell their stories, especially if it does not flatter them. So it is very difficult to find guidance from those who have gone before us. Everyone is left to figure things out for themselves as if they are venturing for the first time where no man has gone before. In Ghana, when people come under attack or when their businesses are killed, they go into hiding or they go on a campaign to attack those who are responsible for their fall. In Captain Amoabing's case, he is not gone into hiding. On the contrary, he is speaking as boldly as he has always done, but he is not attacking anyone. In his latest book, Captain Amoabing shares the behind-the-scenes stories and experiences and happenings of the UT success story and gives insights as to how and why the fairy tale ended. I found parts of the book painful to read. Captain is an enigma. He is a bundle of contradictions. He is hard and soft in equal measure. He is principled to a fault, but when it comes to supporting a Ghanaian who wants to reach for the moon, Captain is willing to make exceptions. In one of his recent interviews, Captain said, quote, "I am not a bad person. I don't wish anyone ill," end of quote. It is one of the few cases where someone makes that claim and you are compelled to agree that he's right. Captain is human, but Captain Amoabing is not a bad person. And on the occasion of his 71st birthday, I wish him good health, peace of mind, and harmony in his life. And on the occasion of the publication of his second book, I say congratulations to you, Captain, and to your co-writer, George. And please hurry with book 3. And Kojo, that is my presentation for this morning. But before I go, please, to our listeners, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube at Uncle Ebo White, and on Instagram at the Uncle Ebo White. And Kojo, have a fantastic day.
Have a wonderful day too. Thank you so much. That was Food for Thought, brought to you by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Uncle Ibo returns on Monday with more. Right now it's time for us to remind you that our conversations don't work without you. So please make sure that on social media we feel your presence. Tell us what your thoughts are on yesterday's conversation about what we're putting our children through just so we can remain in the rat race.